Hey, so on Monday I was lucky enough to see an advanced screening of The Martian, so I thought I'd make a video of my thoughts on the movie in case you're interested in seeing it as well. So The Martian is based off a book by Andy Weir, and this film is directed by Ridley Scott, so pretty big name director working on this movie. And the cast is also full of stars. You have Matt Damon playing the main character, Mark Watney, but you also have Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, Michael Pena, who has literally been in every movie lately. There's Sean Bean, Kate Mara, etc, etc, etc. There are so many well-known actors and actresses in this movie, and I definitely think that is one of the positives of this film, is how amazing the cast is and how they carry the performance, especially with Matt Damon. He does a fantastic job with this movie. I was really impressed by his performance in this film. So the basic premise of this film, there is a team of astronauts and they are on Mars, and there's a sudden storm that forces them to leave early, and in this storm, one of their astronaut members, Mark Watney, gets struck down, and they believe that he's died in this storm, so they have to leave. But when the storm settles, it turns out that Mark has actually survived the storm, and now he has to figure out how he's going to survive on Mars on his own. There was a lot of different emotions that this astronaut went through, and I think Matt Damon did a fantastic job at portraying the emotions that this astronaut is going through. Every day is not despair. There are some days where he is very determined to survive and to figure out a way to contact NASA back home. And there are other days where he feels hopeless. And I liked the balance between the hopeful moments and the moments of despair. Another aspect of the film that I really liked is that Mark Watney, while he's on Mars, keeps something of a video diary. I thought it was a really clever way of keeping the audience engaged in what he was doing and keeping them updated kind of on what was happening. And it also felt very realistic in the sense that if you were completely by yourself on a planet and you had nobody else to talk to, you're probably going to start talking to yourself at some point. So I really liked that part of it. I also think it's something that, because, you know, I'm on YouTube, it was kind of a relatable thing to be like, if you're having a not so great day, sometimes you just want to be able to express yourself and get those feelings out to a camera. So I really liked that aspect of it. There are some things where, like, they would be typing when he finally does get communication with NASA, where he's sending messages back and forth, and on both sides they're reading it out fully so that it can keep the audience in the loop as to what everybody is saying. And while that's not totally realistic, like, you probably wouldn't read everything out, it works well for the film. When it came to the actual science of the film, I'm not a rocket scientist or an astrophysicist, so I don't know how accurate all of that side of the film was. It'd be interesting to know if any of that kind of math side of things was accurate, but I would assume they are. The other great thing about this film is its ability to balance the drama with comedy, and they really did a good job of keeping things light despite the kind of darker content, and I think that's what makes it a very enjoyable film. Like, you really go through so many different emotions, and it's not just from Mark Watney's perspective on Mars. You also have NASA's perspective, and then you get a little bit of the perspective of the crew that's making its way back to Earth. I also want to look into where they actually filmed the scenes on Mars, because there were some absolutely beautiful shots of Mark Watney by himself on Mars, like traveling across it, and yeah, there are just some really awesome shots. The music was also great and was also a bit of a running joke throughout the film, because one of the astronauts is a big disco fan, so most of the music is actually disco music. They do a lot of sequences in the film that I think are really great and that I really like, but they have this disco music playing behind it, and I think it works really well. So there's a lot of really good moments in this movie, but I would definitely watch it again because I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend seeing it when the movie comes out, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it if any of you do get around to seeing it. that's all I have to say. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video. Bye!